Ancient Kingdoms of Arabia begins with a flight into Muscat on the northwest arm of the Arabian Peninsula. After 3 nights in the Omani capital, we head south to the Turtle Beach of Ras Al Had for a night, before moving into Oman's mountainous interior and the old town of Nizwa for 2 nights. The tour then crosses the Empty Quarter, the largest sand desert in the world, on a brand new highway that links Oman with Saudi Arabia. We spend 2 nights in the vast oasis town of Al Hufuf and then board a train to the kingdom's high-tech capital, Riyadh, where we will stay for 2 nights. Muscat, early evening. Welcome to the most authentic city in Arabia. Our hotel for 3 nights in Muscat is the Intercontinental. It is connected to the Royal Opera House by a stunning walkway. Already one of the world's great opera houses, the building was completed in 2011. Turandot was performed by Placido Domingo for the official opening night. Contemporary Omani architecture, this opera house boasts sensational acoustics. Spectacularly wedged between the mountains and the sea, Muscat is actually made up of 3 cities that are grown together into one. This is the Mutra Corniche, the oldest in the country, and it is home to the most atmospheric souk on the Arabian Peninsula. Often referred to as the Market of Darkness, Mutra Souk is a myriad of narrow winding alleys. An assault on the senses, the souk has a variety of silverware, daggers, hulware and traditional cloth. Nearby is the Sultan Qaboos Mosque. Quietly imposing from the outside, this is an amazing piece of modern Islamic architecture. It can accommodate 20,000 worshippers and the main prayer hall is breathtaking. The Persian carpet in the centre took 600 women 4 years to weave. The chandelier is simply stunning. 14 metres in height, weighing 8 tons, which includes 600,000 crystals. It is the largest in the world. The next afternoon, we leave the desert, and after a 2-hour drive, we arrive at the magnificent beach of Ras Al Had, colloquially known as Turtle Beach. Once again, we stay in luxury tents for the night, this time on the Arabian Sea. Dawn at Ras Al Jinks Beach. Between June and August, hundreds of female turtles use this beach as a nesting ground. The green turtle can weigh up to 190 kilos, and from laying 100 eggs, it is likely that only 1 hatchling will make it into the sea. This is one of nature's most remarkable cycles. Exhausted, the mother drags her great hulk back into the sea. She will lay many more eggs before the season is finished. This morning we leave for Nizwa, but on the way we stop at a beautiful natural phenomena of the Bimar sinkhole, a turquoise mix of salt and fresh water. Nizwa is an ancient oasis town in the magnificent mountainous terrain of Oman's interior. This religious centre of the Omanis has a moving past that manifests itself in the city's defensive fortress. Although much of Nizwa has been restored or rebuilt, its atmosphere remains intact. The town has a charming oriental ambience in the silent and shady courtyards, and outside there are rivers, orchards and towering palm trees that create a balmy atmosphere. Nizwa Souk is famous for its vast array of handicrafts, and there is also a food section where fruit and vegetables are from the surrounding plantations. The cattle market is a place where time seems to have stood still. The hustle and bustle of the marketplace is reminiscent of a bygone era as traders from surrounding mountains descend on the oasis. The next day, we use four-wheel drives and head towards the 3,000 metre summit of Jebel Shams, or Mountain of the Sun. It will take us 2 hours to cover the 95 kilometres to reach a breathtaking moonscape that is known as the Grand Canyon of Arabia. When we reach the top, we have a chance to hike along the balcony, an incredible walk that overlooks the Wadi Ghul Canyon 500 metres below. Rub al-Khali, or Empty Quarter, largest sand desert in the world. In December 2021, to great pomp and ceremony, a unique road opened up, linking Saudi Arabia and Oman. Today, we traverse this 726-kilometre tarmac artery, known simply as Highway Empty Quarter. Construction within shifting sands and an almost impossible topography make this project an engineering feat to behold.
Welcome to Saudi Arabia.
Our first 2 nights in Saudi Arabia are spent in the date oasis of Al Hufuf, where we stay at the Intercontinental Hotel. The next day we drive to the Al Qara mountain to explore a curved cave labyrinth. The result of aerial weathering, where limestone rocks have been crafted from rain and rivers. This has led to remarkable mushroom-like shapes, narrow canyons, and tall interior passages. Just below the mountain is a pottery village that has some of the most unique artifacts in the kingdom. The Souk of Al Hufuf comes alive in the evenings, and it has a wonderful laid-back vibe. Early the next morning, we board a fast train to Riyadh. The journey time to the capital is 2 hours and 10 minutes. This morning we visit Masmak Fort. This mud brick structure is considered the birthplace of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We also visit the Saudi National Museum, which houses fantastic displays of the history of the Arabian Peninsula and transports the visitor back in time with a magically interactive tour of the ages. One of the centerpieces of the museum is this scale model of what Mecca would have looked like centuries ago. Our hotel in Riyadh is right next door to the iconic Sky Tower, and this is where we have a spectacular view from our restaurant on the 13th floor. We leave Riyadh on the new fast train to Jeddah on the Red Sea. We have 2 nights in Saudi's most liberal city before we head north to the breathtaking beauty of Al Ula for 2 nights. The tour then crosses into Jordan via Tabuk for a 2-night stay in Aqaba on the north tip of the Red Sea. We then drive north to the fabled city of Petra, and after 2 nights here, we take the path of Lawrence of Arabia across the great Wadi Rum desert to the Dead Sea for 1 night. From here, it's a short drive to the Jordanian capital, Amman, for our final 2 nights of this epic adventure. It's early morning at Riyadh train station. We board the historic new train that links the capital with the Red Sea. 942 kilometers will take us just 6 hours to complete. It's late afternoon when we arrive at Jeddah's stunning Corniche, and our hotel is fantastically situated on the north part of this seashore or Corniche. The Hilton Jeddah has simply the best views across the Red Sea in the city, and all rooms have sea and Corniche views. The next morning we visit Jeddah's Central Fish Market, which has over 100 stalls. Here, buyers jostle to bid on the widest selection of fish in the country. The vibrant array of fish catches make this market a photogenic feast, and everyone is so friendly.
You welcome you Jeddah for fish fresh. It's Najil. It's #1 fish.
Najil is red grouper, possibly the tastiest of all species in the Red Sea. The fish are then descaled and cleaned and filleted by an army of workers. Jeddah is an inimitable blend of old and new, and to wander through the streets of Al Balad district is to trace the steps of traders and pilgrims who thronged the streets of this once thriving area, which still retains an incredible atmosphere. The game of dominoes has been played here for centuries. Al Balad is also famous for its intricately designed houses. They are built using coral from the depths of the Red Sea. The colourful balconies complement the beauty. And quite simply, this is some of the finest examples of coral architecture anywhere in the world. Today we head for the Al Ula Oasis. The journey will take us 7 hours. Even B roads in Saudi like this one are excellent. We reach the turnoff for our desert camp. It sits spectacular in a shelter beneath the craggy mountains. The resort in which we will stay for 2 nights really allows us to immerse in the otherworldly landscape of Al Ula. As night descends on the camp, the silence of the desert is haunting. Early this morning, we take the short drive to the most iconic historical site of Saudi Arabia, Madain Saleh. "596 kilometers from Petra, this is the second great city of the Napataean civilization. 111 monumental tombs, 94 of which are decorated with majestic facades on the sandstone massifs. Aramaic and Nabatean inscriptions on many of the tombs are unique to Madain Saleh, because this great civilization left no extensive written history. This makes Madain Saleh extraordinarily valuable. Unlike Petra, there are no other people here, and this very absence of foot traffic, as well as the desert climate, has created a stunningly well-preserved archaeological masterpiece. After the Romans took control of Madain Saleh in the 4th century AD, most residents abandoned the city to settle here in the Al Ula Oasis. Their mud homes formed part of the old city of Al Ula. There were 14 gates protecting the city that opened in the morning and closed in the evening. Inside were nearly 1,000 two-story homes. The city was designed in a way that was easy to defend. Houses were built attached to each other, forming a fortification all around the city. We leave Al Ula and board 4-wheel drives through the spectacular canyon of Wadi Dirsa. Adventure with a capital A. As we reach the Saudi-Jordan border, we say a cheerful goodbye to our drivers.
روح يلا هلا يا هلا إيه. واصل
The beautiful city of Aqaba is sandwiched between the majestic Red Sea and Red Rose Mountains. It is Jordan's only port access. We board a boat towards the eastern coast of Sinai Peninsula. Our destination is Pharaoh's Island, Egypt. The island is just 300 meters long and 100 meters wide, and sitting on top is the 12th century castle, the citadel of Saladin, which in the past ensured the safety of pilgrims in the Holy Land. From the top of the castle there are spectacular views of 4 countries: Egypt, Jordan, Israel and Saudi Arabia. The waters are turquoise and transparent, and the coral reef and aquatic fauna are stunning. This morning we depart Aqaba on the King's Highway. The journey to Petra will take us 2 hours. And our 2 nights in Petra is at the Movenpick Hotel, located superbly at the very entrance to the Lost City. The next morning we walked through the Sig, a narrow 1.2 kilometer canyon that leads us into the rose-tinted city of Petra. Founded in 312 BC, it was the capital city of the Nabateans, an ancient Arabian people who were the makers of extraordinary prehistoric civilizations. Homes, shops, churches, fountains and theatres were carved into the multicoloured sandstone. At its peak, it was home to 20,000 inhabitants. Forgotten for centuries, Petra was rediscovered only in 1812. Yet still, by day or night, it is a true wonder of the world. This morning, we leave Petra for the 90-minute drive to the Wadi Rum Desert. Meaning Moon Valley, Wadi Rum is untouched by time or civilization. For thousands of years, the sun and wind affected the terrain, creating cliffs, arcs, wells and canyons of various forms. The otherworldly terrain of this desert has been the background for such movies as Transformers, Red Planet, The Last Days of Mars, The Martian, Lawrence of Arabia and many others. Today we head north to the Dead Sea on the historic 280-kilometer King's Highway. This is the same highway that brought Moses from Egypt as they wandered into the Holy Land. It will take 1 hour to descend 420 meters below sea level to the Dead Sea, the lowest point on Earth. With a salt content of more than 32%, 4 times that of an ocean, this is one of the greatest ecological treasures on the planet. The last leg of the journey is a 1-hour drive to Amman.
Welcome to Jordan.
This morning we explore downtown Amman, one of the oldest inhabited cities of the world. Jews, Christians and Muslims have shopped together in this market for 1,000 years. And still in the old city is a 2nd century AD 6,000-seat Roman auditorium. Fully restored in 1957, the theatre often hosts performances of opera, ballet and Middle East celebrities. After, we head towards the citadel, located on the highest of the 7 hills, with great views overlooking Amman. Near to Amman is the Roman city of Jerash. These vast ruins are remarkable for their state of preservation. Imposing ceremonial gates, colonnaded avenues, temples and theatres allow even a layman to piece together ancient life under the rule of the emperor. Ancient Kingdoms of Arabia explores legends, history, formidable natural landscapes, and breathtaking architectural wonders. Closed to the outside world for decades, this is a journey that crosses the Arabian Peninsula, following in the footsteps of Moses and Lawrence of Arabia.